Can you come at the front, please? Thank you.
Hi, Arne. What chance do you still see to progress after tonight?
Probably I have to refer to last season, what gives me the best feeling, and I have to refer to the history of this club, how much impact Anfield can make for a performance. We were outplayed here last season, which led to a 1-0 win from us, which was unbelievable. Paris Saint-Germain was by far the better team today, could have scored more than 2 goals. But the good thing was that the players of Liverpool today showed fighting spirit, kept going. Almost every time when they had the shot, we had a lot of bodies behind the ball or protecting our box, which was necessary because I already said, if you don't track back, if you don't run back, these players, like the ones from City, are able to hurt you a lot. And so yeah. Last season at Anfield, we played a completely different game. After 10 minutes, we could have been already 2-0 up. But we need to have A, a better performance, and B, we definitely need our fans to help us to create an atmosphere where we can rise to a better level than we did today.
What was your thinking in the change of formation tonight, and how do you feel that went for you?
Now they have pace from everywhere, all over the pitch. So it doesn't matter where you look, you see pace, and incredible pace. So Hakimi and Nuno Mendes are an unbelievable offensive threat, apart from all the others. So we played them with Jeremy Frimpong and with Milos Kerkez. So that was the thought behind it, and in that way I thought we could try to press them really high and aggressive, because Jeremy and Milos are also 2 players. If you press Hakimi and if you press Nuno Mendes, they play and they start to run. No, they don't start to run, by the way. They start to sprint. And actually, it's not even sprinting. It's just a level above sprinting. And you have to cope with that. And usually players like Jeremy and Milos are better equipped for that than out-and-out wingers. But I think we could also see that every time when we tried to press them high and aggressive, those were also the moments where we were completely ripped apart. I think that led to 5 or 6 big chances of them when we tried to be high and aggressive. So tells you how difficult it is to play against this team, and we try to do this in a high press with the players I just told you, and in a low block means that we have probably more defenders on the pitch, more tight, more aggressiveness. And the second part, I think you noticed this probably as well, with bringing Joe in, you add some set-piece quality as well.
Does all that come into the fact that Mo didn't figure tonight as well? I mean, can you just give us the reasons why he wasn't used at all tonight? Obviously, the other positive, though, is that Alexander Isak did get some minutes.
Yeah. I think in the last part of the game it was more about surviving for us than there was ever a chance that we could score. Yeah, you never know, because last season we scored 5 minutes before the end. Harvey Elliott when I took Mo off. But I don't think I think this was a 20-25 minutes where we were only defending. And Mo has so much qualities, but for Mo to be 20-25 minutes defending inside his own box, I think it's better for him to save his energy for a lot of games that are coming up in the upcoming weeks.
Mike?
So I was going to kind of ask you about that. Obviously, you'd have wanted a lot more shots on goal today, but was that because kind of against this team, you're in survival mode for quite a lot of the game?
Yeah, of course, that's not the plan. Of course, you think you can do better, and when you press them high, you can force them to mistakes. But I think the way you describe it is maybe the perfect way to describe it. We were in survival mode for large parts of the game, and but maybe also in the period of the season where we're in survival mode. So to try to say to find ways where we can try to make sure that their qualities are not seen that much, but that's really, really, really hard against this team, because last season over here we were in survival mode as well. But as I said, Paris Saint-Germain was the better team, but we didn't give up. And that's why we have a chance now still in this tie, because they kept us alive by not scoring a few open chances. And now we can bring the tie back to Anfield. Not unfortunately, but in between, there's still a very important game to be played for us against Fulham.
Rich?
Hi, Arne. Just in terms of the system, I mean, obviously you've not used it before. Is it something you see as purely a one-off for this one, or something going forward, or what?
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of focus on the system, but what is the difference if I would have played, let's say, Rio or Cody Gakpo as a left winger? Because actually Milos had to play almost as a left winger facing Hakimi. And then there were 4 defenders left, which we usually have. So if I could also explain this as a 4-3-3 with Florian off the right, Hugo in the middle and Milos off the left, 3 midfielders, 4 defenders. But because they are defensively minded, people now see it as a 5. That's the way I would describe it, by the way, as well. But I think the margins are really small. And just try to think about it. What if we would have played with real wingers here today? How would that have looked like against Hakimi and Nuno Mendes?
Well done. On the side there, please.
Hello, Arne. Elias Peters from 90 Min. Is there still hope for the second leg and the qualification for the semi-finals? Thank you.
Yes, of course there is. I think in football has shown so many times that everything is possible. I think it was 10, 15, 20 minutes after the game when I watched at my phone and I saw Atletico beating Barcelona at home 0-2 because of a red card. So in football, red cards, incidents, penalties, yes or no. And don't forget that Anfield can do a lot, because I was sitting after the away game at Galatasaray in front of most of the same journalists who were also not very positive about our game. And 1 week later at Anfield, we played probably the best game of the season. So our fans do make a big difference for us. But that's also needed, because I think it was completely clear today that that we need our fans more than ever if we face this Paris Saint-Germain team.
Jan at the back.
Bonsoir coach, en français, désolé. Comment aborder le match retour? Vous avez une tactique plutôt défensive ce soir, et ça a quand même pas empêché le Paris Saint-Germain d'avoir beaucoup d'occasions, de marquer 2 buts. Vous allez devoir vous livrer au match retour. Comment vous allez gérer ça? Voilà, merci.
Now, my first question to that was, have you ever seen a team playing a tactics over here that didn't allow Paris Saint-Germain to constantly have the ball and to create chance after chance after chance? I've watched many games, and there was all of the same pattern, and almost all of the same pattern you saw tonight. They were just outplayed almost every opponent that they played here. I think now, first of all, it's time for me to reflect on this game, but focus mainly on the Fulham game. And then we'll try to come up with a game plan that will hopefully show a different game at Anfield. And I think, and I've said this now a few times already, that if you want to press really aggressive, then fans can be really helpful. The atmosphere being loud, it can just give you that extra what you sometimes need. And now it's clear and obvious that we will not play the same tactic as we played tonight. But as I also mentioned just a second ago, that Milos 10 yards further up or 10 yards further back means it's a 4-3-3. So it's completely fine with me if everyone wants to focus on the tactic. But for me, that's absolutely not the story of the game today. Every tactic has been tried over here, but the result is always the same. Paris Saint-Germain blowing the opponent away.
Last one at the front here.
Bonjour coach, en français aussi. En vous écoutant, vous avez beaucoup parlé de l'apport de Nuno Mendes et d'Achraf Hakimi. Ils ont l'air de vous avoir beaucoup marqué sur le terrain. Leur utilisation, ils sont beaucoup rentrés dans l'axe pour créer le surnombre au milieu de terrain. Ils se sont également beaucoup projetés vers l'avant. Est-ce que pour vous, le déclic du match s'est joué sur l'utilisation de ces deux latéraux et comment avez-vous jugé leur performance ce soir? Merci.
Nah. It's Hakimi, it's Nuno Mendes, it's their midfielders. You have to be really tight on them. If you're not tight on the midfielders, they make the play, they dribble, they are so fast. So you have to be really tight on them. If you then start to help a little bit more with your fullbacks towards the midfield or closing the inside a little bit more, then their wingers come in 1-3-1 situations, which they dominate completely against any defender in the world. And if you then are really tight on their wingers, they make deep runs. So it's not an easy team to play against because they have so many weapons, where Nuno Mendes and Hakimi are two of them, but they have more. But again, I've said it multiple times now, I am convinced about the fact that we can show something different in a week time. Shorter than a week time, because we were so fortunate to play Wednesday, Tuesday and have a game in between. So that means even less time to recover, less time to prepare. But I'm convinced about the fact that that we will play a much more similar game in a week time than we played, as we played last season at home.
Thank you.
You're welcome.